Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Recap, a guy's review, and this is Voicemails. Happy Sunday, bloody Sunday. I hope everyone's having an excellent day today. I'm going to barrel through all the voicemails I didn't get to this week, and there were a ton. Thank you guys so much for joining me Thursday for the 5-hour, which turned into 5 hours and 45-minute long live stream celebrating 25,000 subscribers. We're now at 26 and a half. Thank you guys so much for that. Thank you for helping me see this season through. We've made it to the end of The Bachelor starring Matt James. 2021 has been full of drama, to say the least. We've had productive conversations, we've had fights, disagreements, we've agreed on some things, we've laughed, we've cried, we've done so much. We have done so much, and we are continuing to talk about how it all went down. Starting tomorrow on Monday, I will be discussing the Chris Harrison hiring a new lawyer and talk a little bit about entertainment law and what that all means for Chris Harrison's future. I'm also going to break down and talk about Bree Springs in the scene from After the Final Rose and whatever other news comes up. We've noticed Claire Crowley has a Neal Lane diamond ring she's wearing again. Happy 40th birthday, Claire Crowley, looking 40 years young. So much going on. I want to try hard to highlight the positive things in the world. This week has got me feeling like Bradley Cooper looks. I took yesterday off. I think it was the first day off I took in a couple months here, just because even when I was doing the move, I was trying to get some content out, but I was a little burned out after the 5-hour live stream and a lot of news to report. I can't imagine what this cast of characters is feeling like that's actually living this life, but reporting on it is exhausting. I'll tell you that much. So Sunday is going to be a nice day of rest after I get to your voicemails. So let's play all of them. Again, these aren't voicemails necessarily that agree with me. I'm just playing all voicemails that are under 1 minute long that have decent enough audio. So you're allowed to disagree. You can call the voicemail number up and share your opinion, as long as we keep it respectful and no baiting anybody into negative energy, I guess. But we can be thoughtful. All right, let's get into it. Here we go. First one.
My name is Sandra, and I'm from Laurel, Maryland. And I'd like to make a comment about Matt James and Rachael. I think the producers of The Bachelor put a lot of pressure on Matt to choose Rachael as his mate. They took her on a shopping spree when they first met, and he bought her all of these things. And then in their fantasy night, they had an explosion of fireworks. And it's almost like it was subliminal seduction.
Wow.
So I'm not so sure that they gave him a real opportunity to find out who was the best person for him. Thanks a lot.
Sandra in Maryland saying it was subliminal seduction. I love words. I love alliteration. I love the art of speaking. I love linguistics. And I love subliminal seduction. You could be right. It could be subliminal seduction. We don't know. Matt might have said, Rachel's the one. I want to do whatever I can to get her the best dates, the most time, this and that. You don't know. We don't know what started that romantic fire. But I think they did have a connection right away. But he had connections with other people. Like Abigail was the first impression rose. Where did she go? Where's her shopping spree? Very interesting. Katie Thurston, she got a date where she got to prank Tyler Cameron. So it's interesting who's creating the dates and who's being coerced. It could be very easy for the producers to put their foot on the scale to make this a little unfair for others if there is someone they want to win. Of course, they can bring someone out and shine the best light on somebody, because as we know, relationships are built on releasing dopamine. And sure enough, if you're going to go skydiving with someone, you're going to build a strong connection. If you're going to go shopping, you're going to be like, woo, we're spending money, we're feeling good. Very interesting stuff. Thank you for the call. I don't think we'll ever know what started their relationship, but let's go on to Christina in Arkansas.
Hi, it's Christina from Arkansas. I was just watching where they were saying that Chris Harrison is getting him a high-profile lawyer and is going to leak and expose The Bachelor. And I was wondering if you wouldn't mind to do a show and let me know if it's true or not. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. I have a real fawn spot for people from Arkansas. I don't know if it's the slight twang. I don't know what it is, but I appreciate your call, Christina. I am going to do some more research on Chris Harrison. All we know is that he hired a lawyer. That's all we know. That's all we know. Everything else is hearsay. We'll talk more tomorrow about this, but of course, if you are stepping aside and the producers might be replacing you, of course, you're going to want to get as much money as you can from a company that has made a fortune with you. Whenever that comes to business, you just need to be well represented. It is not like Bachelor isn't already lawyered up. So regardless of what's to come, it's a good negotiating tool for him to have a lawyer. I mean, every actor and host, everyone has an agent that acts as a lawyer. Agents are licensed through the state. They are there to negotiate for you in good faith, and a lawyer isn't too different. And this lawyer that he has represented everyone from, you remember the most interesting man in the world from Dos Equis? Apparently that actor wasn't receiving royalties, so they hired this lawyer to fight for his money. So there'll be some cool case studies to look at to what this lawyer can do in entertainment law. But as we know, the reason Screen Actors Guild exists, the reason that unions exist is because if people can be taken advantage of, they will. It used to be there was three, studios that existed, Paramount Studios. These studios literally would hire actors still. When you sign on to do a sitcom, you sign a 7-year contract. So if you get super famous, you're not renegotiating. Like, it's not a good place to be an actor or host. When you're on the front side of the camera, that's not good. The power is who owns the rights to the show. So a lot of times lawyers need to get involved to do what is right. Okay, let's move on to Colorado. So we'll talk more tomorrow about that.
Hi, Dave. I'm calling from Colorado. And I just want to say that this toxic fan base of Bachelor Nation is going to be the demise of the franchise if they don't stop. ABC has already sent out a clear warning or clear signal that they're not going to tolerate that hate and they're not going to tolerate the toxicity, because replacing Chris Harrison or just having Caitlyn and Tayshia step in for Chris Harrison is a clear and warning to these people. So they need to decide whether or not they want to continue to be toxic or if they want to keep the franchise. So that's my thought. Thank you.
The toxic Bachelor Nation franchise. Look, I know a thing or two about this. I have been accused of everything under the sun. It was a rough week for Dave, okay? And I'm not playing the victim. I'm just saying I had to delete Reddit off my phone for a minute there because yikes, woof, wow, it doesn't feel good as a human. No matter how many positive comments you get, it doesn't feel good as a human to see people that really just try to cut you to your core. There's something that exists on the internet that we just never saw before. Now, don't get me wrong. There is plenty of hate and bigotry and marching and horrible issues around the world, but there's something about the internet that brings those issues into our home and can mess with our sanity. With that said, I'm not even sure what side of the argument you're on, which speaks volumes, because obviously there's toxicity within the fan base, but I think that's just a direct correlation to the toxicity that exists within our country. I mean, I've talked to people from all over the world. Shout out to Batchy Gossip in Australia. I've talked to her. She's on Instagram. I'll go to her Instagram right now. I'm going to give you guys a proper shout out on the live stream tomorrow because I don't have all my facts straight, but Batchy Gossip actually was responsible for breaking the story about Rachael Kirkconnell's mom, and I didn't credit them. The story was not watermarked, and it was my fault for not seeking out better clarification to who the screenshots were from, and I reported on it and didn't cite them. So I wanted to do that right now, and I'm going to do that again because they were not happy, and I understand. So Batchy Gossip is an Australian Bachelor fan, and she reports the Bachelor New Zealand and South Africa, and you guys can go give her a follow if you want to get up to date in the Bachelor news that exists outside of our little bubble here. She's got all of it over here. So anyway, the fan base It's toxic, and I was telling her it's kind of like we have a cultural civil war happening, and there's people that are so dug in on their side that they can't help but see that there's a lot of pain that exists within Matt James and Rachael Kirkconnell, and we just want to pick sides. And you can support Rachael Kirkconnell without attacking Matt James. There should be zero attacking of Matt James. Nobody knows what could have gone on with him in the decisions he's made and the weight put on his shoulders by Bachelor producers and everything. And the lack of vetting of contestants and this and that. It is a psychology experiment nobody had asked for. With that said, you can't understand what Rachael Kirkconnell's going through as well, having her past dug up and having what seems like to be the whole country hating her. And as she tries to repair her image, she's got people like her mom that also potentially trying to do well, but trying to be an administrator of a group on Facebook to clear out garbage and toxicity, and then in that way she gets caught up in the mess there. It is ugly, 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 and I don't know what to do to fix it. I think talking about it and trying to share love is a good thing to do. I wouldn't want to see this divide go any farther, that's for sure.
Hey, Dave, Neal, this is Lisa calling from Portland. I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you. And I think you have such an important voice. I know we're just talking about Bachelor stuff mostly, but you really are hitting on some really significant cultural issues, societal issues. And I love your perspective. And I think you're doing a lot of good work for humanity with your perspective. You're calling forth kindness and reason. And you're just a really important voice, and I really respect you, and you're doing good. Keep up the great work. I appreciate you. Take care.
I appreciate you too. Thank you so much. I will need to get it. I will need to do better at getting adjusted to people calling me out for that. As the channel grows, there will be people that think that I'm profiting off of pretending to want unity, and of course, when I make thumbnails, I've got one to three words I can put into a thumbnail. So I try to pick I'll try to pick a thumbnail that is what I believe to be something that'll get somebody to click on a video to watch it. And in a lot of instances, they're key words. That's like when Rachael said repulsive to her mom, that was a big, I try to pick. I'm showing you my my Facebook right now, but my YouTube right now. I try to pick words that'll grab people's attentions. We're not replacing anyone. I forgave her when she told me. Her mom, I'm so upset that this happened. Engaged or no. Google therapist near me. That was Matt James' tweet. Will she get over Matt? Matt broke up with her. Ghosted at 8 after the final rose. Did he win the job? I try to make something that's going to get you to click on the video, because if you don't click on the video, nobody watches the video, then why should you make it? Now, of course, over the week, people have looked at me and said, oh, you're just kind of stoking up and trying to profit off of all the division. And I think the people that are following the channel are following it because we're having complex conversations. And that's something that can't really happen in the short news media cycle that we have. If you're going to post something on Fox News or CNN, if you're going to make a video, it's going to be like under 2 minutes long, versus people that have such a thirst for like an hour-long discussion about sensitive topics. To think that half of our country is evil and half of our country is good is just not a healthy way to think. To think I'm on the right side and you're on the wrong side, it's not a healthy way to think. There'll be a voicemail coming out that says like, I need to get my bias out of my videos, and I'll gladly disagree, and I'll tell you why. But I think I consider myself progressive in the things that I want for our country, but at the same time, I don't think we can say that half the country is evil, half the country is bad. They shouldn't have a platform, this or that. So when it comes to stories like a story that Rachael Kirkconnell's mom is racist because she's an administrator in a group, well, when Rachael Kirkconnell's mom messages me to tell me her side of the story, I want to listen. I want to know what's going through someone's head when they do join a group, and then to find out that she joined the group and I'm taking her word for it because she wanted to weed out hateful comments. It doesn't mean she's not biased, and doesn't mean she doesn't understand what's racist half the time because of where she grew up and how she feels in her community, but it means we need to give people a chance to share their opinion. I'm partly glad that she's getting off social media, but I'm also glad that she did try to fight for herself, even though I think it's a wrong thing to do. PR companies say you just need to be quiet and move on and everything, but that doesn't always That's not always a healthy way to talk. And it would have been great if she could have had a conversation with someone like Emmanuel Acho where they could have sat down and have that. And maybe I'm not the person to bring it to your television screens, but I always harp back to this one caller we had in Maine. A black woman in Maine called, and she said, Dave, the reason why white people need to have these conversations is because they need to help dismantle some of the problems that they built. So by helping dismantle it, we're talking through things. We're understanding why we think a certain way, why something is wrong, even if we don't believe it, in learning our understanding. It's about redemption. It's not about what you did years ago. It's about who you are today and what you're bringing to the table to make our country better. I don't have any kids, but when I do, I look forward to them living in a country that we talked about. I played a video by Matthew McConaughey and Emmanuel Acho where Matthew McConaughey read a quote about America's not there yet. We strive to be the land of the free, equality for all. We're not there yet. What are we all going to do to get there? And again, it doesn't mean I'm always on the right path, but the effort is there at least. And YouTube's a powerful platform to do that. It's a powerful platform to do that, to have these conversations without sponsors that control what I say, without advertisers that can be canceled. I can just talk, share my opinion. You're allowed to share yours. They can be different. But a lot of times when I've had differencing of opinions with people, we've gone, like the other day I had a live stream and someone called me out for attacking Matt. I talked to that person for an extra 20 minutes after the live stream was over, into late into the evening, 2 a.m. or whatever, the night of the finale. And then afterwards, we had an email conversation and we got to a place where we not even agreed to disagree, but we got to a better place than just flipping each other off and slamming the laptop shut. So there is a healthy place to have the conversations. It's not on a Facebook status. It's not written, because when we write things down, we assume certain things about each other's. There is a path forward, and we're learning what that is. And I think it's getting back to face-to-face communication and understanding that most people mean well. They just operate with the information that they have.
Dave, this is Maya from California. I'm calling because I love your what you do, but I think that there's a disconnect. I think I've been having these conversations with white friends, and also facilitating conversations between groups of strangers. And one of the things that shows up, perhaps by now you've seen the Sharon Osbourne interview, that is much more how this conversation goes. When you're a black person attempting to approach a white person about their unconscious race issues, it is a minefield. It gets ugly. It gets creepy. For me, it was creepy and ugly and scary and shocking and upsetting. And I can't imagine what that must have been like if it showed up in his relationship, which it most likely did, because as we've been saying, Rachael didn't think that she was a racist. She didn't think that she'd done racist things. She didn't think about his humanity or any black person's humanity while she was at that party. And so she had to be brought to that place, which was probably not a pretty process. And I think you're really lowballing how defensive white people get when you start talking about race, when they're talking with someone who is of color. It is seriously some of the most upsetting conversations I've had within the past few months. And this is Maya, again, from California. Thanks.
Maya from California, thank you so much for this voicemail. You're talking about the disconnect between white people having it brought to their attention when something is racist. And I now wonder, and I don't have the answer to this, but I'll try to answer this. And Maya, please call back. I love this voicemail. You're very thoughtful and kind the way you laid this out for me. I appreciate that. I wonder if the idea of being called on something, given that capital R for racist tag onto somebody, makes you so defensive because of the levity that comes with. I'm not making an excuse for them. I'm just trying to figure out what that might be. I know if someone called me racist, I'd be like, are you serious right now? Because it's almost like if someone calls you racist and then you try to hear them out, you're almost like, now when I apologize for my actions, am I owning up to being the racist that you think I am? So defensiveness isn't the answer by any means. But I do understand how people could be defensive over such charged accusations. With that said, I agree with you when you say that I'm lowballing I think you said that I'm like lowballing people, how people actually act, and that may be the case, but it doesn't mean we can't strive for better. So I understand, instances of like Sharon Osbourne. It's like, I mean, I couldn't begin to tell you, as a super wealthy, famous white woman from the UK, like I couldn't begin to tell you what goes through her mind when she's defending some of her friends, like, Piers Morgan. And Piers Morgan is trash. I mean, he seems to be a real trash human. You can like him for some things, but then you see the other ways he stokes division, and the way he's treated Meghan Markle because he got ghosted on. I mean, the more you look into it, the more trash it becomes. So it's almost like and again, so when you put conversations on people with the TV on, like with the camera lens on them, now you're getting to a real level of defensiveness, because it's one thing to have a heart-to-heart with somebody and you go, hey man, I know you didn't think this was racist, but this is what you did and this is how it makes me feel because X, Y, and Z. It is on the white person or the person who's being accused of something, regardless of race or gender. If you're being accused of something, it is on you to go, oh. With my fiance and I, all the time, I've lived my whole life until this relationship as like a single guy. So when I'm told I'm acting a certain way or reacting a certain way, I have to go, oh, I get highly defensive, because I know in my heart of hearts I mean well. But so many of the issues that I have come from me meaning well, where I'll be a people pleaser and I'll want to please different people, and in the end it's everyone gets shafted, So I have to understand that the center of who I am might mean something, but it doesn't always get received that way. So yeah, I don't know what the solution would be to get over the disconnect, but I think addressing it and acknowledging it is very important. So no, all this stuff that we talk about, I by no means think that there's an easy fix. There's an obvious reason why it's 2021 and we're having these tough conversations still. So I don't think it's an easy fix, but I do think we should look into more what defensiveness is, and this shouldn't be on a black person to have to sugarcoat it to a white person. I'm not saying like that, but we are all in charge of how we react to things and the emotions. You shouldn't give the keys to your emotions to somebody else. So we need to do a better job learning about our emotions so we can understand not to take things personally if we've done something wrong. Thank you so much for the phone call. I really appreciate it. Let's go to Colorado.
Hi, Dave. I'm calling from Colorado. I was just wanting to know if you've listened to the newest drop of the Higher Learning podcast with Rachel Lindsay and Van Lathan. They actually had John the Scorpio, which is Matt's brother, on there as a guest, and also they discussed the finale of The Bachelor and what they're and Rachel does kind of discuss what type of person that Emmanuel Otto is. So if you can go listen to that and give us your opinion on your next chat. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. I haven't watched this. I'll definitely put this on the list of things to check out. Here's a quote from the conversation. He said, I had the conversation with, this is of course Matt James' brother, that's pictured right here. I had the conversation with my mom. I said, this to me is not what I perceive personally as reality and like an actual real dynamic that somebody would experience in everyday life. I couldn't really take it serious because who in their right mind could come to a serious conclusion in 2 to 3 months for a lifetime decision? Well, he's speaking for everybody right there. There's nothing like being in love. It makes life wonderful, Patty, who split from Matt's dad after he cheated on her, said. But, people fall in and out of love, and love is not the end-all, be-all. She got a lot of hate for her comments, but, I think they have a great point. It's like, how can they take it seriously when there's a 4% success rate? Can you imagine if you went gambling and they're like, oh, yeah, could you win? Yeah, I could win. What's the chances? 4%. You mean if you roll the dice 25 times, you might win once? Yeah. Okay, let me not put my money into that. And that's exactly what The Bachelor is. It's a 1 out of 25 has gotten there. So thank you so much for that. I'll check that podcast out.
Hey, it's Hannah from Texas. I have to say the group on Facebook, I will say that I'm an admin for just a meme, good vibes group on Facebook. It's like a prep. And so we have rules that people follow, but I had to get a moderator because, people try to post inappropriate stuff. Why, post approval turned on. But some people get wily and they post stuff. And I'll just say that groups can honestly take a turn for the worse very quickly. And I have a full-time job. It sounds like Rachel's mom does also, and the other moderator. Obviously, they should have been on top of that stuff, but I will say that groups can take a turn for the worse or the better, or any of those sorts very quickly before you can even really imagine, because who has the time to sit on line all day other than me listening to Dave Neal? Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Hey, thank you so much. You're absolutely right. And this was kind of my defense of Kim Kirkconnell, which, by the way, the fact her initials are Kim Klosterman Kirkconnell. I'll let you guys do the math on that one. I don't want to say that out loud just because I know YouTube's listening, but oh, God bless her. Please. I feel like I'm in a simulation knowing that Kim Klosterman Kirkconnell has those initials. But yeah, she joined Tuesday night. She showed me all the screen grabs, guys. She joined Tuesday night. She went to work Wednesday, and this was reported by Thursday. She became an administrator to weed out some of the negative comments. And I know people says, oh, you would have seen them on your phone. Sometimes, I don't know what her job is, but some people don't. Some people put their phone away, like my mom. There are days when my mom doesn't even know where her cell phone is. You know what I mean? Like we don't all live in the same world that you and I do, where we're up to date on certain things. Now, obviously, I can't. And again, I just can't imagine what it would be like to be at work, working your job, whatever it is, and just knowing your daughter's getting, a national hate, regardless of if she deserved it or not. Regardless, this is your daughter. This is so when you rocked as a baby and breastfed, the oxytocin you share with them, the love that you feel. And then to think that your daughter's going through something, I can't imagine the stage mom vibes that exist because you want the best for your kid. Best thing she could have done was just deleted her social media and lived in her community and let this burn out. But again, I can empathize. And a lot of people get mad at me for saying that, but I can empathize with that feeling. I think of my mom. I think if my mom posted something and people pushed back on her, I'd be like, Mom, you got to delete that. I don't want to go on my Facebook and see people yelling at my mom. You know what I mean? Because I know my mom means well, but I know she's so misguided sometimes. Anyway, folks. Yeah, it can get out of hand real fast.
Hi, Dave. It's Hannah from...
Did I get that already? No, this is a different one. Is this the same person or different? I already got that one. All right, let's keep going.
Hello, Dave Neal. This is Elmer from Southern California.
Hey, Elmer.
I'm an Asian person, and I watch your show. And I hope that you minimize your own comments and you minimize your own prejudices and just show the news rather than mumbling about your own democratic and leftist views. So, Facebook group by Kim Kirkconnell is a freedom of speech. So you should not interject your point of views because you're just sharing news from whatever sources you have. So I hope you continue doing your work, and I love watching your show, but your comments are biased. It's not fair at all. You know what I mean? So I hope you learn from this because it's freedom of speech. Nobody can oppose your views. Anyway, thank you very much.
Elmer from Southern California. Elmer, thank you so much. Listen, I am not a news channel. I am an opinion-based, entertainment news. I give my opinion and I listen to others. And I am biased. I have progressive-leaning values. I think the country should have, at minimum, a $15 minimum wage. I think we should all have universal health care, way longer paid maternity leave. I think we need to get rid of this growing gap between CEOs and workers. I think there are so many issues wrong with our country. If you want to say that makes me Democratic-leaning or left-leaning, absolutely. You call it as you see it. If you want to push back on any specific issue that I say, I am all ears. Look at my ears. I have big ears. I'm all ears. But I am not here to report the news. If that's what you want, there are NPR and other very centrist news sites you can go to get that. But I am here to give my opinion and have a discussion. I am for sure biased. Okay. but I do listen to others. Speaking of which,
Dave, this is Karen from Huntsville. You haven't been playing my...
Karen, I'm going to play this voicemail, but I need to let you know. You got to turn off the background noise because this is insufferable. So the reason I'm not playing all your voicemails is because the background noise, it's hard to hear. So go to a quiet place. One of the best places to leave a voicemail, I'm not kidding, is your closet. Go into your closet. All the clothes that's in your closet kind of absorbs the sound, and it helps it sound better. So I'm going to play your voicemail.
And, that kind of bothers me. But I just wanted to say that I just wish they'd get these mama's boys, off The Bachelor and get a guy that is serious about wanting a relationship and wanting to get married and so on and so on. And all you've had is babies, like Matt James and, Peter Weber. Oh,
yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
And I know it's not your fault. It's The Bachelor, but
I'll call him up.
They need to get somebody that is very much into wanting to have a relationship and get married and all that. And I'm tired of these crybabies and these mama's boys. So, just put in a word, please. And like I said, nothing against you or whatever, but I would like to have my voicemails played because, my attitude, is, and ideas, are very beneficial too. And I don't know why, you've been ignoring my messages. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you so much, Karen from Huntsville. What a relationship we've built, Karen. We've come so far. Your opinion is important to me, Karen. Try to keep your voicemails under 1 minute and try to just leave one at a time. Sometimes you'll leave like 3 or 4, and I'm like, which one should I play? I can only play one, and just work on that background noise being gone. And then we got it. Absolutely. I wouldn't call Matt James a crybaby. I don't think he's tried to play the victim at all. I think if anything, when it came to saying real truthful things, that's when he got quiet because he probably didn't want to hurt others. So I wouldn't say that, but I do agree that The Bachelor does need to do some soul searching for the type of contestants they bring on the show, because if they do want the show to be about love and finding love, they need to get a better rate. They need to get a better success rate like The Bachelorette has. Thanks for the phone call, Karen.
Yeah, I thought that was sweet of Susan Rich to, order the pizza,
you called again?
for y'all.
Wait, did you call from a different phone number? Oh, no, it's the same phone number. All right, Karen's calling again.
Yeah, I thought that was sweet of Susan Rich to, order the pizza, for y'all. This is Karen from Huntsville, by the way.
We know.
But I just wanted to say that you and Tasha are a cute pair, you're just so adorable together. And, I just wanted to say that if I said anything wrong last night, I'm sorry.
No apologies. No apologies.
I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And, you are a great guy. Okay.
Oh, thanks.
And I love Katie and Michelle as the new Bachelorette. What happens between Matt and, Rachael, that's between them. And I hope everything works out best, but really she's better off without him. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you so much, Karen from Huntsville. There, you got 2 in this week. How do you feel about that?
Hi, Dave. This is Willow calling from Maine. I'm
Willow.
calling because of your last voicemail video with Deshawn calling in. I thought that was really messed up and not okay. I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
So that's in response to Deshawn saying that I've been with my fiance we've been engaged for 7 years. So it's on. He was basically criticizing me for not being married yet, and I had to correct him and say we've only been engaged for a year, but that it's not his business to sort of dictate anything about my relationship. Which it's whatever. I think Deshaun meant it in good fun, so I'm not taking offense to it. But that's what this is in reference to.
I'm a huge fan of you because I feel like you do a really good job of explaining other perspectives to people that might not be presented with that point of view. And so I really would love to hear you address more the misogyny in that comment. I don't think you should talk about your relationship, but also hearing men talk about women like their cars and being test driven is just really messed up and very outdated. And I really think you have a great platform and people listen to you. So I hope you address that a little bit. Again, I'm sorry that you have to deal with so much personal attacks. Again, thank you so much and keep doing what you're doing. Bye-bye.
I will say that when people do bring my relationship into things, it does feel different. Like I get how like moms can get like upset when someone talks about their kids. I totally get that, because with me it's like personal jab, whatever. But then someone's like talks about my relationship and I go, you don't know anything about my relationship other than what I am sharing with you. Which of course it's like, I'm not trying to, I don't think his comment was meant wrong, but yes, there could have been misogyny there talking about the transactional, what a relationship is and locking someone down. But I hear you. I don't want to go any farther into it because I'm just going to come off like I'm super defensive. But let's understand that every relationship should be valued for what it is, and there's no right way to do it. There, you can get married after 2 weeks of dating and live a happy life together. You could have a relationship that ends in a divorce or decouples or whatever you want, and that's fine too. As long as we try to learn from each other and be better humans every day. I think that's kind of what we're here on the earth for. I don't think that's too crazy to say. My fiance and I, we do look forward to our wedding. We are just starting to plan it now. I'm going to create a vlog channel so I can share some more vlogs of what that's all about. I used to make tons of vlogs, but they don't get as many views as the Bachelor channel. And it's a whole algorithm thing. But if you want to check out my vlog channel, just stay tuned for that. I'm going to probably create the channel this week so you can subscribe, and then I'll start uploading content weekly where we share what we're doing to prepare for our wedding. Fun day-to-day stuff, getting our new home. We've recorded, house hunting and this and that. So if you enjoy that kind of behind-the-scenes look at things, I got the drone cameras and the personal stuff. It's way more dynamic than this setup right here. Get ready and go follow over there because we'll have more content coming out. But anyway, thank you so much for sticking up for me. I appreciate that.
Hey, Neal. This is Miriam Cardona from Philly. I left you a couple of voicemails, but you haven't get back to me, so I'm just gonna keep it short this time. Talking about Matt, and you know how it is with Matt. You know how I feel about Matt. And about Rachel, I don't like what he did to Rachel. I think, my opinion, he's in Jack. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, that's besides the point. I think Rachel is a wonderful person.
What is the point?
I think she has changed. And as for me, I'm hoping and praying that she finds the love of her life and she moves on and forget about that Jack beep, if you know what I mean. But anyway, Dave, you have a great day, and I love your show. God bless. And again, Miriam from Philly / Bronx, New York.
Yeah, one train.
Not Jenny from the block, but Miriam from the Bronx. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Dave.
that was Miriam from the... I got the wrong one. That was Miriam from the Bronx. Ladies and gentlemen, tell it what it is. Take that one train uptown, past the 145, all the way up to the... Okay, I used to live on 145th, and the one train, if you fell asleep taking the train home because it's so long and slow, you end up in the Bronx. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Hey, Philly, have some water. All right, appreciate you. Let's go to Gabby. You know what I bleep?
Hi, Dave. My name is Gabby, and I'm from Northern California.
Hey, Gabby.
I just wanted to say that this season has been interesting.
Yeah.
I think that the women, I'm so ashamed to be a woman right now because the way that the women were treating each other, and it's 2021, that's disgusting. But overall, I just wanted to say that I'm just sad the way that the producers handled this season. They had the opportunity to include so many amazing conversations, and they didn't. But that's my take. I hope you have a great day. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Gabby. Bleep. from Northern California, I believe you said that, right? Look, don't be ashamed to be a woman, and women are amazing. You got your bodies are miracles. The way you just spawn out children like that. What is that? It's incredible. Being a woman, I've got so much respect for your gender and all that you've overcome and all that you do. With that said, it's Lord of the Flies on The Bachelor. They bring people in and they put them in ideal, is that a word? Situations. They give them alcohol, they sleep deprive them, and they bring out the worst in people. They know what they're doing. Don't be ashamed to be a woman. Coming from me. I'm going to mansplain what it is to be a woman to you. Let me tell you something about being a woman. If you grow up in the United States of America, yeah, sure, your grandmother didn't have the right to vote, but you do. And you know what you're doing? You're creating Supreme Court justices. You've got more women-owned businesses out there. You're just running things. You're becoming a higher percentage of CEOs. The work's not done, but you're going out there, you're putting your pantsuit on, and you're making life happen. Sure, once in a while, The Bachelor has some toxic contestants, but that's on you, Mike Fleiss, okay? The women are good. Abigail, Katie, Michelle, Piper, pay the piper. I don't know more to say, but I'm going to get out of that one. But anyway, don't be ashamed to be a woman. That feels like a country song. Don't be ashamed to be a woman. Some of the best women that I know.
From New Jersey. I just want everybody to remember that when a couple breaks up, they may decide only to share certain details to protect each other, but they're both fully aware of everything that's gone into that decision. So all of these people making decisions for them about what Matt should accept and move on and continue in a possibly toxic relationship wouldn't be healthy for either him or Rachael. I believe her apologies were sincere, and I wish them both the best.
Absolutely. Amen to that. Let's barrel through these.
Hi, Dave. I'm Helen from Ontario, Canada. I'm 81 years old and totally appreciate your take on the news and the human touch you give it. Even if you do happen to be Irish, I do too. Take care. Stay well.
Thank you so much. 81 years young. I appreciate you watching. That's amazing.
Hey, Dave, Neal. Nolan from Texas.
What up, Nolan?
Just want to leave you a message going because I've listened to your videos. I just wanted to say that there's two sides to this story in regards to this picture. And I feel like that they should understand both sides of the story. I've heard some of them saying they want she should blame her parents. Well, I don't know that she should blame her parents. She went to a party that celebrated the actual creation of that fraternity in a post-war era. So I think that everybody should be educated on both sides of the story so that you get a clear picture of everything and can come to a conclusion as to what is offensive and what isn't offensive and come to an agreement.
Nolan from Texas. Thank you so much. Look, I agree with you that we need more information to make judgments. A lot of times we have snap judgments. I haven't looked too far into it because it's like, what am I going to say, But what I believe that type of party was banned by the fraternity, so I don't understand what they're actually celebrating there. Michelle from Cleveland, Ohio is next.
Hey, this is Michelle from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm
Michelle.
A 50-year-old black woman, and I'm reading from notes to keep this time nugget short.
Thank you.
What the hell is doing the work? Is that the new I'm going to rehab? The work is simple. Integrate your life with people that are different from you. That is how you learn, Matt James. Reading a book is cute, but if you go back to your segregated corners, then what? Second is the woke, white, Bachelor Nation podcasters. Teddy Broad, Game of Roses, Reality Steve, and the Ashley, Bachelor Party, and sometimes Nick Vial. Listening to them, standing atop their mountain of wokeness is at times offensive, annoying, highly problematic. They speak as if their audience is all white. That is a problem. Congratulations on 25,000. Bye.
What a very nice and smart comment there. Integrate your life. That is how you learn. Hey, let's learn from our elders. Not saying you're old, but you're older than me. Let's learn from people that have been around longer than us. And of course, Michelle from Cleveland, Ohio, a 51-year-old black woman. wrote some notes. Thank you so much. Can I save that? I need to find a way how to save this 216 number because that is great. I kind of want to play that one again. And everyone's got a different thing of opinion, but you say this white woke police standing on your mountain of wokeness. You are a poet, my friend. You are an absolute poet. That's an amazing voicemail. I'm going to play that one again in another video, but thank you so much for sharing that. Let's go to Caitlin from Connecticut. Couple more, folks.
Hi, this is Caitlin from Farmington, Connecticut. I'm watching your video about Rachael McConnell and Matt James and the hate that he's getting. I just wanted to mention, too, if you ever look at the clip of After the Final Rose and what Matt James says, he actually says that I can't be with her when she can't understand what I've gone through my entire life being a black man because she doesn't understand racism. I think that might be a good thing to share, just, so people can understand it a little bit more. And it's not just about his empty, no response comments. But thanks so much. Have a good day.
Absolutely. There were some things that he said there that were very telling and absolutely like he did his best job at explaining why he felt like he couldn't be with her right then. And it's not up to us to go, but she's there. I mean, she looks like she is, but what do we know? It's kind of up to him and his life.
Hey, this is Lana from Texas. I just have one other comment to add. I don't understand why Matt signed up for such a big role if he has cold feet about actually getting married. Because just proposing to somebody doesn't mean that you have to get married right away. You can have a long engagement and, really get to know who you fell in love with. It's not legally binding to propose to someone. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think.
Lana from Texas. You have a good point because this proposal was all before all this other BS came out. So as far as like an experiment goes, you can take some race issues out of the equation, like all of her past, and you can look at this and go, if he loved her, was there something about their conversations that wasn't right, but he still loved her? Or is it more about him? It seemed to be more about his mom saying love fades and questioning how serious this was. I think you can think you're ready for marriage and like, hey, I'll give it a shot. I think I can figure this out. But you just don't know. You don't know until you're there. We don't know anything about how that show works. But I do love your voicemail and your point. Thank you so much for calling, Lana.
This is Anonymous from Arizona. And I wanted to say that I think it is more important that you screen your voicemails and get the targeted ones versus knocking them out because they're 2 minutes long, or else trying to cut them somehow to get the more targeted information. I'm going to go with this route since that was done. I don't follow politics or religion or talk about them normally, but since Matt James is a religious person, then I'm going to say that it is not for us to judge him or Rachael or Chris Harrison or for Rachel Lindsay to judge. Even though the matter is a most serious matter and I'm not cutting that down, Judgment Day and judgment is only by one person. And forgiveness only matters in the eyes of that person that we do. So all the drama and everything that is continued is Judgment Day is only done by one person. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, if you can't get to a place of forgiveness, you just can't get there. But sometimes that says more about you. If you can forgive someone, if you think, it comes down to, do you believe the other person truly means it? Can I get there? Sometimes you can repair it. Sometimes you got to move on and try again with someone else. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Now, with regards to screening phone calls, I do need to do a better job of that. I do. Some people don't want to hear a 48-minute long video here about voicemails. Let me know what you guys think. How many voicemails, how long of a video do you guys like to listen to voicemails? If you're still listening, you're probably okay with it, but it does come down to me being a people pleaser and wanting to please everyone, and I hate it when people think I'm deleting their comments on YouTube. The only way your comment doesn't make it up on YouTube is if you say something very offensive or make fun of another commenter. I won't stand for commenters attacking each other on my YouTube. I appreciate you guys too much. Sometimes hateful words go into the spam spam folder. So sometimes people go, yeah, you're deleting my comments. And I go, well, let me go into the spam folder and pause my day to see what happened to your comment. You're so entitled. But I do understand your point about maybe I should do a better job. It requires a ton of time to just do this. So screening voicemails can be a ton amount of time. But I think that now that the height of this drama might be over, that I'm not going to be getting as many voicemails, and it might be a little more bearable for a one-man shop. Let's go to our final voicemail. One of my favorite people in Bachelor Nation, Jen Murphy.
Hi, Dave. It's Jen Murphy here, calling from Ontario, Canada. I just wanted to leave a quick message to say congratulations on your 25K subscribers. I'm so happy to see your channel and your success grow. You certainly deserve it all. Lots of love to everybody in the comment section, everyone who's watching today. Hope you enjoy your pizza party. And of course, I have pineapple on my pizza. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.
Now, that was from a few days ago, but I didn't get to it. We were so busy at the live stream, I didn't get to anyone's voicemails. Jen, thank you so much. Thank you for being there along with me on this journey, for always commenting and being so supportive. I appreciate all of you more than you know. It really does help the quality of what I make, knowing you guys are out there. I'd be a psychopath if I made these videos with nobody watching, but the more you guys give me, and as far as your love and energy, and even your criticism, the more energy you guys give me, the more content we make. And that's kind of how this has worked out. So I thank you guys all so much. Thank you so much for 25,000 subscribers. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? You got to hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to that next milestone, 100,000 subscribers, which gets me that silver plaque and a little verification check mark, which will be helpful to try to get more high profile guests on, because of course they like to see that they're not wasting their time too. So I appreciate all of you guys so much, and have a good Sunday. I will see you guys tomorrow with loads of content coming out. So I appreciate y'all so much. Go call your mothers. Tell them you love them. Thank you guys so much for your energy and all the voicemails. Bye, guys.